Hey y'all, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. Now, from what I understand, this was actually created back in 2016, but seeing it all around, just everywhere, like BookTube is saturated with this tag. I was like, you know what? I follow the hype train. I like the hype train sometimes. I do have the original video down in the descriptions and the link below. Without further ado, I need my coffee. The first question is, best book you've read so far? I have three. The first one is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. The second one is Reincarnate by Patrick Creaney. Then the third book that I am absolutely in love with is Unplugged by J.B. Taylor. So for the first two books that I mentioned, these are in the horror genre, and the third book, Unplugged, is a sci-fi, and they just really blew me off my feet. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything more for the first 6 months of this frickin' year. The best sequel you've read so far? I'm gonna go with the Brown Sisters series by Talia Hibbert. I completed the series this year, but I actually read the first book when it first came out, so I don't know if that counts, but I did finish the series this year, so you know what, I make the rules here on this channel, so we're gonna count it. Next is new release you haven't read yet but want to. I'm gonna go with Rabbits by Terry Miles. A deadly underground game might just be altering reality itself in this all-new adventure set in the world of the hit Rabbits podcast. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So my most anticipated release for the second half of the year, it's actually already out, but I would really like to get my hands on the Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. Number 5 is Biggest Disappointment, The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I'm not saying that this book is bad, because it's not bad. It's actually a really good book. But the issue that I have is that I hyped myself up so much, and I had an idea of what this book was going to be about in my mind, and then it just did not live up to the expectation. I did give it a pretty average rating, which is, like I said, it's not bad, but I wanted to be blown away by this book, and it didn't do it. The biggest surprise that I've had of the year is probably going to be The Patience of a Dead Man by Michael Clark. I heard this from Leslie from The Nerdy Narrative. I am doing a readathon with her, and I'm on her team, and I heard her talking about it, and I was like, you know what? I feel like we have pretty similar taste. So I went ahead and I picked it up for the readathon. That is the Indie Accord readathon. It is specifically to read more self-published or indie authors. So when I read the synopsis, I didn't really think anything of it. Whenever I go into horror novels, I try not to hypothesize the outcome or what it's really about. With these, I feel like I kind of want to go into it not knowing very much, except for like the basic gist of it. When I finished it, I went ahead and purchased the next book in the series. And then also for number 7, who is your favorite new author? So I'm gonna go ahead and use the same one that I did for 6, and I'm gonna say Michael Clark. And then number 8 is newest fictional crush. Most people, when they answer this, they're like, you know, I don't really get crushes on characters. I do. Azarion from The Phoenix Unbound by Grace Draven. He sounds like a big, tall drink of water, and I need it right now. I'm super thirsty. And then another crush that I feel like is pretty equivalent to Azarion is Kira from To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I thought she was amazing. She went through a bunch of stuff, but she didn't give up. I wouldn't say like I'm pining over these characters, but they're my favorite characters of 2021. Number 9, I basically already answered this, but my newest favorite character is Kira. Number 10, a book that made you cry. I haven't cried this year. I just haven't been reading any books that have made me cry. A book that made me happy. A book that made me happy. I mean, all the books that I've read so far have made me happy. I'm gonna have to go with My Heart is a Chainsaw. I literally was squealing and giggling the whole entire time while I read that book. Okay, well, not the whole entire time, but there were many a times where I had to stop and squeal because I was terrified, I was excited, and I was loving the book so much. Number 12 is most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I really, really like this cover. It's Oathbreaker by A.J. Rutger. I just think it's so pretty. And then another, did I just call this pretty? It's got blood on it. Send help, please. Another book that I think looks really good is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. But it is so pretty. It's just got very soft watercolor vibes, and I'm a sucker for watercolor. Number 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, to be honest, I don't need to read any books for the rest of the year. But if I had to choose, it would be you. I definitely want to finish the Patience of a Dead Man series. So the next book is Dead Woman Scorned. I'm kind of ready to see where everything goes. I want to see where the author takes us in the storyline. Number 14 is favorite book community member. You guys. Y'all just make me happy. So I really appreciate you guys. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up so that way I can know. And if you liked the content that I'm bringing, definitely check out the rest of my channel and consider subscribing. I would love to interact with you. Okay, that's it for now. See y'all later. Bye.